Okay, so yesterday we were doing the state where we created the object with three values: name, age, and gender, and we are updating or displaying in the name, age, and gender component. And how we are updating the state? We are updating the state by saying set state, and we are passing the state, which is this one, and we are adding a new value, key value pair. So it will override the old value. So if old value is gender male, we are overwriting with the female. So initially state will take all the values, key value pair, like all these three, and then it will overwrite with the gender female. Now let's create one more component here, and I will show you another way to update the set state. So this is the one of the way where we can update the state in this fashion, where we have the state variable and we update it with whatever we want. But now I will show you another way which is used sometimes, and it will be as follows. Let's say I create another component. Maybe I can say buttons. I will create this arrow function here, and this button will be having all the buttons, like it will have change name button. So here I will return maybe a div, and inside div I will first put HR so that I will know that this is a separate component, and I will put first the change name button. So right now I will comment this part, and it's giving me some error. Div. Okay, so we are missing one div. Okay, and then I will put the second button of age. Here is my second button, and then I'll put third button of gender. Okay, let's put the third button of gender. This one. Okay, so this on click should be on the button, not on the div tag. Let me move this to button tag. Okay, so right now, okay, set state is there, whereas I'm not passing the state. So let's pass the set state here, and I will uncomment this one. Okay. Now let's put all buttons in one row. So I'll delete the div so that all buttons will be on one row. Okay, let's comment out this one as giving some warning. Okay, and now I'll call this button component here in my app component. So what I did here, I took buttons from all the components and put it in separate component. And now I will call this separate component here, buttons. Whereas I will pass set state only. I will not pass state, but I will only pass set state here. Okay, because here in buttons we don't want to show the state. We just want to update the state with the set state. Okay. So now let's see how it looks. Okay, so you will see these three buttons are here, and these are the other buttons where I can change Tony, age, and female, but this button does not do anything because I have not written any code for this one. Let me refresh it, and then I'll show you how to write the code. Now one way to update the state is like this. Where we have state already, I can do the spread operator of the state, and I will append with what I want to change it. But sometimes I don't have the state. See here, I'm only getting set state. I'm not getting the state. So in this case, what to do? How to get the state? So when we don't have the state variable, then I will put here arrow function inside it. And inside arrow function, I will get this first parameter here as the state value. I will name it as FV, for example. Today I can put it any name, but I will put it as FV, and here I will do console.log of FV. Okay, so what I did, inside the set state, I created the arrow function, and with the one parameter called as FV, and in the console.log I display the FV. Now let's see what I'm getting in this console.log. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's check now what will happen when I change the name. I will click the name. Okay, so this error is, forget about this error now because we have not done completely, but you will see FV. FV is nothing but age, gender and name, and it is the same thing what we see in the state variable. So if you see the state variable, it is name, age and gender, and same thing I am able to see in the FV. So this FV is nothing but the state values. Whatever we save it as a state, we also get it here as a state value. Now what we have to do, consider this as a state, and we have to return an object with first parameter here or first property here as FV, like we did here for the state. We did it for the state and we updated with age like this. Similarly, instead of the state, I have put FV so that you should not get confused with the state value, and I will append it with the name. So what I'm doing, I'm getting the previous value of the state using the FV, and then I append it with whatever I want to change it. So here I will say Tony 2, for example. Same thing I will do for other part, and here I will only update it with age. Age will be, I will put 22. Third place, I will just change the gender. I will say gender is other, whatever other you have. And now we will test it. You make sure you have to return the state value in the same way as it is created. So I created as an object, so I'm returning it as an object. If you have created as a string, you have to return a string. If it is numeric, you have to return numeric. But since it is object, so I'm returning object. Now if I refresh it, change name, you will see it is 22. Age is 22. Gender is other. Whereas if I click this one, it is Tony, 21 and female. With this one, I get different value. So what I did, I updated the state using the set state. Only difference is, in previous case, I was creating the object myself by calling the state variable and updating it with the age, name or gender. But here in this case I am creating arrow function where first parameter I am getting is the same as the state variable, like this. So I took that state variable and I append it with the whatever change I want to do. I want to do name equal 22, age is 22 and gender is 20, and gender is other. So this is the another way which how we can update the state. Now I will give you 4 minutes to create this button component and write down all these 3 buttons and update the state variable with this new method. So this is the method 2. So just go on and do it in 4 minutes. So half of them is written on the left side and half is on the right side. Yeah, so just let me know when you're done. So is it done? Okay. So now I want to show you one thing. If I write down the console.log here in the my main component, if I write down the console.log with saying state variables are, so I want to see what are the state variables. I will put state variables here and see what are the state variables here in the main app. So let's see what we see in the state variables. Okay, let's refresh the page. Okay, so when I refresh the page, we get the one line of statement like state variables are name, age, gender, and this is nothing but the default value which I put it for the name, age, and gender for the state. Now I will change the name. Whenever I change the name, the state variable is updated with the name Tony, and since the state variable is updated with the new value, and that's the reason I am able to see this console.log again. So whenever you change the state variable, this main component will run again where the state variable is changed. So even though the variable is changed in the child component, but it will be the main component where exactly the value is changed. Where exactly the value changed, it is in the main component. We have the set state in the main component, that is the app component. So whenever we have change in the state variable or the props, or we have the change in the props, then this component will load again because here the change happened. So when I click the age, now I click the age, now again the variable is changed and we are able to see a new line of the console because variable age was changed. If we don't change the variable, you won't see the console.log. You will only see the console.log because I put the console.log here in the main component. So whenever there is change in the state variable, you will see that I am calling that console.log. In fact, all the child components will re-render it kind of thing on the page. So everything will be updated with the new information. Though it will re-render, but only the part which is changed is exactly changed on the div tag. So when you change the age, all things will remain same. Only the part which you are changing will be changed. Though the component is re-rendered, but the HTML part is only changed whatever I change. Okay, so 21 is changed here. So I will show you. So I am putting here my select box. Okay, and I will change the age. Since age is only changed, this part is not refreshed. My selection is already there when I click change age. But when I click change name, see the name is there only the Tony part is changed. Therefore, let me refresh it. I will select all, but when I change the name, see previous to Jack, everything is selected. Only the Tony part is changed. That means whatever variable is changed, that is only changed on the page. Rest all is same. It does not re-render on the page. Though the component is re-rendered, but this part remains same, that it is not updated. It is there as it is. Now I will change the age. Till age variable, it is same. It is not changed. So my selection is there. But 21 is changed, therefore my selection is gone. I will select this and I change this. So till male, everything is same. Only the male part is changed to female. Other thing is same. So that means all other parts of the page remain same. Only the variable which is changed is displayed differently on the page. Okay, so though component is re-rendered, but it does not re-render the HTML which is not changed. The one only which is changed is re-render on the page. That is what happens. And whenever you will change the state variable, all the components will re-render it. Though on the browser you will only see whatever variable is changed is displayed differently. Other than that, everything remains static. Okay, so this way you will know only this part will be changed on the page. So this is all about state variable. Now we will see how the state variables are used in the input box. So now, for example, I have an input box and type is text. Okay, now whenever user will type something, I want to capture that value. So right now, if I put something here, right now I'm not capturing it. User is just putting it in the input box. To display this input box, we use the input tag in the HTML, but we are not capturing this value. Let's say if there is a button and here I will say click me. So whenever user will click this button, I want that whatever you have typed here should be displayed here. I can say you typed this. Okay, inside this double quotation, I want you to display that part. Okay, so now when I refresh it, whenever I type and when I click here, or even if I don't click here, task is whenever I type something, I want to display it here. Okay, click part we will see after some time. Right now, we just want to see whenever you type something, I want to display same message here. Right now, it's not capturing. That's why I cannot display it. What should I put here now? If I put variable blah, 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 it will not work because this variable does not exist. What should I put here? I want to capture this and display it here. So we will see how to capture this part and display it here. So like similarly in the state variable, you have this object. You can create similar object for this also, but for this I will only create one string value and update that value. So for example, I'll say constant name and set name. And here I'll say react.useState. Initially value will be empty string. And what I will do, I will put the value of this input box equal to the name, because this is the variable which I want to use it. Okay, and then on change, I have to use on change behavior of input box. And here I will write down the arrow function. Inside arrow function, I will put just E, and I will see what is E coming here as. Sorry, E is E. Okay, let's see what E is coming here as. So when I put something here, you will see E is displayed here. Now what is E is having? E is having a lot of information here, and one of the information is called the target. Let's see what is there in the target. In the target we have a lot of key value pairs. Let's see what we need for this one. Target has one of the property called as value. Okay, so target has one of the property called as value. So let's try to put again and see what is the value. Target, let's go to target. And we have the value. So right now it's coming empty because we are not capturing properly, right? Okay, let's try to see target dot value. Okay, let's see what is coming on change in the target dot value. Okay, so when I put target dot value, E is saying D because I typed D. If I type E, it is saying E is E. If I type G, it is displaying G here. So what it is coming, E dot target dot value is same thing what I am typing. So what I have to do, I have to update this set name with E dot target dot value. So whatever you will type will be updated with the name field, and name field is a variable. Okay, so let's see what it is displaying. I will do console.log of name. So now whenever I will type D, so it's saying name variable is D, and I can type whatever I want, and it is displaying here, and also it is displaying here. But I want to put this in this double quotation. So if I want to put this in double quotation, I will just take this name variable and I will put it inside the double quotation. So whatever you will type will go on change event, and inside the on change event we call the set name, and set name will be updated with the new value, and the new value will be assigned to the name variable, and name variable will be displayed here. Okay, let's check that one. So whatever I'm typing, you are seeing it is typed here. Okay, so this is the beginning of how to use the state variable in the input box. I will drill more on this tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And so just I will give you 1 minute to write down this line of statement and this line of statement. So just add these two lines of statement, and then we will continue this tomorrow, because I have to go somewhere in 3 minutes. So I'll give you 1 minute to finish this, and then I will end this class. Okay, so as you are typing this, I'll just refresh what I did. I created the state variable here, and I created the input box here. And in the input box, I put the value as same as the variable name, which I want to use it. And on the change behavior of this input box, I update the variable with the whatever user is typing. So whatever user is typing will be captured inside the e.target.value, and we update the set name, which is the function, to update this variable. And then again this variable is passed to the value, because value will be displayed on the page. That is what we are doing. Since we are changing the variable, that is the reason we are using the use state. Always use the state variable whenever you see that this variable will be changed. I will talk more about this in detail tomorrow, and you will understand it more clearly, because today I just did it an initial introduction to this, but tomorrow we will drill it more on this part. So that's all for today.